Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the suspension spring on your washer, and it's a really easy job. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver and a pair of locking pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Now before we begin this repair, we will need to disconnect the power to the appliance, so simply pull the plug. We'll also need to move the appliance out far enough that we can access the side of the cabinet to lift on the tub. Now if it's a stacking unit, you'll need to remove the dryer from the top of the washer. Or if it's a side-by-side unit, you'll need to remove the top panel. It's held in place with some Phillips screws across the back, and then it will slide forward and then lift up. And you can unhinge it and remove it. Determine which of the springs is broken, and then you'll need to have access to that side. Now next we're going to remove the lower front panel, and again it's held in place with a couple of Phillips screws. So just remove the two bottom screws that hold that access panel in place. Now with the screws removed, we'll just tilt out on the bottom of that panel, let it drop down. There's a couple of locating pins that fit into these two holes, and we can set that panel aside. Now with the lower access panel removed, we next should inspect the shocks to make sure that they're both in good condition. Typically if the spring is broken, either one or both shocks will need to be replaced, so you should order those up at the same time. And they do come as a pair. Now, what we need to do next is to raise that tub up high enough that we can disconnect the broken spring and install a new spring, but we'll need to support the weight of that tub. So you'll need an assistant to do this, and then just simply taking some wooden blocks, we'll set them in between the base frame and the bottom of the tub, or in the motor area, just enough to support that tub, and we'll take caution that we don't damage the tub in doing that. Now the tub is heavy, so make sure that you have enough strength and support to lift that tub up before we try to block it in place. Now because those springs are under a fair bit of tension and we're working around some rather sharp metal edges, we should put some protective gloves on and some protective eyewear as well. Next, remove the retaining strap that fits over top of the top hook of the spring. It's held in place with two Phillips screws. Remove and set that aside. Now if the old spring is still intact, you'll need a pair of locking pliers to remove that. Simply grasp it from the top, get a good clamp on it, and then while lifting up on the inside, pull it up enough to bring it over the hole, and then let it drop back down. Remove the old spring and discard it. Now when installing the new spring, we'll put the large hook on the bottom, and we'll pull that through the loop on the tub first, making sure that we have it lined up so that the top hook faces towards the outside of the cabinet. Now you probably won't be able to pull that spring up through that hole with just your hands, so just take a piece of cord or heavy gauge wire, and then we'll just form a loop to hook the top of that spring, and we'll pull it up through. So again, engage the spring on the tub, slide your cord or your wire down through the slotted opening that the spring will come up through, hook it onto the top of the spring, and then pull it straight up through, and then bring it over and lay it in the hole. Now you can take a little bit of that tension off, pull your cord out, and now we're ready to remove the support from the bottom of the tub and reinstall the top and the front panel. Now with our blocking removed, we're ready to reinstall the lower access panel. So line up those locator pins on the top and start the 2 Phillips screws in by hand first. Make sure we tighten these screws securely. And hold the access panel in place while you're tightening them. Make sure we have a nice clean fit. Now we're ready to reconnect the power, and our repair is complete. I told you it was an easy job. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your repair.